Joe Hamilton says that crypto projects seem happy to sacrifice centralization for performance. What do you think it will take for people in general to recognize the importance of fundamentals of a blockchain over hype? I mean, I personally think, again, it's going to be all about the stick-to-itiveness and all about, just watching other projects crash and burn because they made the wrong choice. It's kind of like that one scene in Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. When the bad guy goes and chooses the wrong cup and turns to dust. He chose poorly. And then Indiana Jones chooses the right cup. He chose wisely because he thought about the fundamentals of what would a cup that would belong to I guess in that case, Jesus, look like. So, I mean, it's the same. It's kind of the same philosophy here or the same thinking here. You see enough people get hacked, screw up, not deliver, not be sustainable. Sooner or later, that doesn't matter how pretty the square wheel manufacturers make the square wheel look. It's still not as good as the round wheel. That's just the bottom line. They can hype it up. Yeah, they can throw money at people to make it look like they have traction. But in the end, it's all gonna be down to what works and what has the track record to show that it works. Ergo works. Ergo has the track record to show that it works. Ergo, like I said, has the tooling, has the ecosystem to show that it works. The development, the team building, constantly building, it works, right? It's obvious it works because the team is constantly building. There's projects. Real projects, community-built projects, not something where somebody went out and just got, $20 million to build some bullshit that really has no utility, but it kind of looks nice and shiny. No, this is real stuff. People just go on there, they use the tools, they build DeFi, they build games, they build, they do Web3 NFT stuff. I mean, all sorts of stuff. Look, if this was just hype, right? If Ergo was just hype, this would not be possible. The robustness of the projects on Ergo that are here right now and that are coming to Ergo would not be possible. The project that I'm building, Palmyra, would not be possible if Ergo was hype. I would not choose hype. This is one of the reasons why I chose Ergo, not because of my involvement with, being the strategic advisor to the Ergo Foundation, but because as a businessman, I made the decision and my team has made the decision that Ergo is the best blockchain to utilize for for basically what we're trying to build. And that's what counts in the end. Just for some people, it's going to take a little longer. But in the end, and you know what, fundamentals, I mean, look, we all want to kind of think about, we all want to believe that in the end, everybody's going to be as passionate as we are about what the blockchain movement is about and what the fundamentals are about and, what we're trying to do with the bigger picture. I am an optimist. So I think there's going to be quite a few people that really will get it. They will get it. They will get that, it's all about connecting the unconnected. It's all about banking the unbanked, all these good things. But in the end, you can't really expect the average person to have this grand vision, understand the grand vision. You just have to expect for them to see that this works. It works for their business. It is decentralization is security and it is performance. In fact, true decentralization, I believe, is a lot more. It's a lot more efficient than a centralized system in many ways. It's a lot more secure than a centralized system in many ways. And these things are important to a business. Security, performance, robustness are important to a business. And if you have this, then those are going to make a business decision. They're going to say, this is a secure, robust, easy to use chain that does what I needed to do. And that's just how it's going to be. And I think that this is what's going to happen in the end. This is this is a right business decision in the end. There's nothing that needs to be sold for this. It's just a matter of time. So what are your thoughts on that, Joe?
I tend to look at actual decentralized blockchains as a type of open economy, right? And if I look at it from the perspective of an economy rather than a single business, I think a lot of the corporate gimmick, brand strategies and all of that stuff is just a little ridiculous, right? And it just goes to show that there's one entity that's like kind of cutting the checks and controlling the fate of that company rather than economy. In terms of performance, it's just an extension of that. If you look at an actual decentralized ecosystem, the goal is to have people that are running infrastructure, right? That's in essence what a decentralized system is localized power where you can audit and interact with that particular economy without permission. And it, I don't know, the mass user has really shifted to where I think most of them see it just as a company, right? And so if you see a blockchain as a company, it's like, hey, why wouldn't you want to pay X million dollars to create some exterior partnership with somebody that's popular, or kind of control the fate and destiny of the ecosystem, right? If you look at it more as an open and permissionless economy, then it's a matter of building the tools and kind of mechanisms to support people that come in and want to use that economy, right? And I think that having the freedom for them to improvise and create their own vision, their own goals, their own projects, without needing to fit within some brand strategy or corporate umbrella is a good thing. Oftentimes what it creates is basically a walled system, right? Where you have to kind of go to the central party, for funding, for support, for marketing. And I don't know, I think that's ultimately going to fail because it just creates point of failure, right? You can look at Bitcoin as a good example. It actually did start in a very decentralized and pretty organic way. And the fact that it's been able to pivot and reinvent itself, and even though in some cases it's really failed to deliver some of what it's promised, shows a certain resilience, right? Versus if it's just one foundation that's holding the majority of the power or stake or funding for creating that type of partnership or business. Now everybody's competing with whoever they're white gloving into the ecosystem. And that's really not so decentralized. That's basically what we have already in the grander economy. What's your take, Alex?
I pretty much agree. But some not. So I think in 2023, after some dramatic events in the so-called crypto industry, people are starting challenging, right, the status quo, and what's industry players are actually doing, what values right behind it, what values should be, and so on. So I think in 2023 we will see more and more insights being appeared around, and spread via so-called opinion leaders. I think at some point, protocols like Ergo will get a significant boost, right? Because, well, after the current stage of challenging things, well, there will be also a stage where answers questions will get answers, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people
All right.
have seen the back.
Yeah, I mean, it's non-linear progress after all, right? So there is some linear component, right, when people getting stick to the proper foundations, right, and good protocols, good money after all. They eventually drives out bets, but there is also explosive component. Right, at some point being realized.